So this is about legal versus illegal marriage. So primarily legality matters to God. God would like us to be legal. He would like us to obey the authorities, the governments, the courts, the police. He would like us to be good, legal, upstanding citizens that are happy with our wages. And so legality does matter to God, that we are legal in our doings and all that. So then being illegally married suggests that you are somewhat in rebellion to God. As if it was a blessed marriage, he would open the door for you to legalize it, because God would like us to be legal. And really, to get married isn't a very complicated thing in reality. You just bring some paperwork to a court, maybe a bit of money, maybe not, and that's it. Your marriage is then recognized across the entire globe by every court in the world. So a legal marriage means a marriage recognized by every court in the world. Courts and governments are given authority by God, and therefore a legal marriage is a marriage authored and authoriated by God, protected by God, supported by God. And really, if you are going to enter a union with someone of the opposite sex in, a marriage type situation, you want it to be blessed by and supported by God as much as possible. Obviously, he's the greatest good. He is good. That's where good comes from, and you would like him on your side rather than what the other option is. So an illegal marriage, consequently, is one that isn't authored and authoriated by God. It isn't protected by God. It is likely authored and authoriated by man alone. Whether it's your church or your family or your own self that has authoriated it, it's illegal. And to suggest that you have really entered into holy matrimony is a lie by the devil. And this includes gay marriage. But a few thoughts did come to me when thinking about this, and that's when I think about David's wives. So David was pretty much on the run in Israel. So he was going to be the next king, blessed by God to be the next king, and he got a couple wives. One wife he got from the original king Saul, and that was likely blessed by Saul. Whole ceremony, every cultural thing was followed in order for that marriage to be consolidated. However, the second wife he got, Abigail, must have been done outside of the jurisdiction of the king of Israel, Saul at the time, and it doesn't really go into how specifically the ceremony went or what they did to get married. It just said that Abigail became his wife, and so in that circumstance, was that an illegal marriage? And therefore by the devil? No way, Jose. Really, when you read the text, it jumps out to you that God actually killed Abigail's husband so that Abigail could be with David. So it was definitely a union that God wanted, and the fact of how close David was with God, it was likely either a ceremony in maybe her village or in front of his men, him given the authority by God as the king of to be king of Israel, as an anointed one. It's just a different scenario there. David, literally, it's the line of David that comes to Jesus. Jesus inherited David's throne, essentially, and that's what fulfills the prophecy of that. So that's a very special case, okay? There are no King Davids around here, all right? Yes, there are kings, okay, but there's no King Davids, and so we don't fit there in that context. We are in the modern world. We are people here. There are processes to go through to get married, and once you complete those, then you are legally married, and it's not difficult. But if you are in an illegal marriage, it's going to be a very difficult and arduous task. Because God will obstruct it, as we've discussed before. And when God obstructs something, it's for your own good, but wow, it makes things difficult. So that's why we want to be legally married, because it's a good thing. God's behind us. We don't want to be illegally married because it's essentially a license to fornicate, and it's no good. It's just something that comes from the devil, and from man. So that's legal versus illegal marriage. Some food.